Hey guys, welcome to another Battlefield 6 preview video, and today we can finally take a first look at Season 1 of the game, the new content it includes, and everything else we can expect to see. But first of all, as usual, thanks to EA for inviting me to this preview event, so I'm able to make this content for you. But with this out of the way, let's get right in. So Season 1 starts next week on Tuesday, October 28, and delivers content in 3 phases over the next few months. The first phase is called Rogue Ops, starts on October 28 alongside the season, and for this phase we were already able to play all the new content and gear in the preview. So phase 1 includes a new map called Blackwell Fields. This is a bigger and more open map again, set in the Badlands of South California, and it's made for both infantry and vehicles, at least on Conquest and Escalation, the 2 modes we played. It provides the typical Battlefield all-out war combat and has a very nice atmosphere and setting. It has a war-torn look with fires and destruction all around, but I'm a bit concerned about the low sun cause this is blinding sometimes. And also all the hills surrounding the map and the objectives are perfect spots for camping snipers and vehicles. In the preview session though, I really enjoyed playing the map and it felt generally well designed and had a good flow. What we will also get in phase 1 is a new game mode called Strike Point, which is a small competitive 4v4 mode where 2 teams are fighting over one single objective, but each player only has 1 life per round, so if you get killed you need to wait until the next round starts. There are no respawns. Rounds are won by either capturing the objective or eliminating the whole enemy team, and the first team that wins 6 rounds wins the match. Now, this did sound nice on paper and like Battlefield's take on Counter-Strike, but I gotta be honest, it did not play very well. Maybe it was the maps, cause we only played it on the 2 new maps. Maybe it is the mode. I feel like an 8 versus 8 version would have done this mode good, cause right now it feels more like we have Counter-Strike at home instead of really well thought out mode. But I think I will upload more raw gameplay of this during the next days so you can get a better impression. Now, moving on to the new gear we can expect to see in phase 1. First of all, there is the new carbine, the SOAR 300 SC, which would be the SCAR SC 300 in real life. This one comes with a high damage but a low rate of fire and plays really well on close to mid-range combat. It was pretty hard for me to switch to a different weapon again because it was so much fun to play. Then there is the new sniper rifle, the Mini Scout, or the Mini Fix as it would be called normally, which is a lightweight weapon with a fast rechambering speed, a fast aim down sight speed and a low sweet spot. So perfectly made for players who prefer a more aggressive recon style and who like to play around the objective areas. And lastly, at least for phase 1, there's a new sidearm, the GGH-22. This is the Glock 22, just with a different name, and this one has a high rate of fire and high capacity, and at least in the preview it served me pretty well as a sidearm. And in addition to this, we will also get 2 new attachments that are available across a variety of weapons. One is the rail cover that you can equip in the ergonomics slot and improves the weapon's draw speed, and the other one is a new LPVO optic that is called SU230. It gives you a greenish clear side picture and it can be switched between 1x and 4x magnification. And of course, we will also get a new vehicle, which is the Traverser Mark II. This is an APC, so an armored personnel carrier with 4 seats, 1 for the driver, 1 for the roof gunner, and 2 backseat passenger seats for side gunners. So a medium armored transport vehicle with a lot of firepower. It can get you quickly around the map, but also in and out of objectives. So this was actually really useful in addition to the tanks and other armored vehicles. And lastly, for Phase 1, we will also see a new unit on the Pax Armada side that is called Panopticon 8. This unit will add new characters to the game, but this time it doesn't seem like they're bound to classes, because at least in the preview I was able to equip all of these characters to any class. If this is intended or not, we will see. Maybe it's only for the preview and will be different once the season releases for everyone. However, starting on November 18th, we will then get the second phase of Season 1 that is called California Resistance, and for this phase we only got to play the new map and mode during the preview, but none of the new gear. So the new map will be called Eastwood, is also set in South California, but is a lot more green and is located in a formerly quiet neighborhood. There are a lot of expensive houses with full interior and pools and even a small golf course on the side with lush green and small ponds, at least before the match starts, but it doesn't look as quiet anymore as it once was. The map is pretty big, features all kinds of air and ground vehicles, including drivable golf carts. It has a lot of destruction, which is great to get people out of houses, but it also leads to missing cover around some objectives about halfway through the match. But still, I really like the different setting and tone that it has, which is a nice change to the desert and mountain maps we got at release. And again, at least during the preview, it played pretty well even as infantry. And I think on this map I probably had the most fun during this session. Whether it is sneaking around tanks to burn them or shooting down helis, even though there was a ton of vehicles, I never felt like cannon fodder as infantry. Really a very, very enjoyable map. But then when it comes to the new game mode that is called Sabotage, we can expect another small one with an 8 versus 8 layout, again an attack and defend mode, but this time there are several supply caches scattered across the map around 2 different locations, and the defending team needs to keep an eye on them while the attacking team needs to destroy them. Then the teams switch roles every round, and the team that destroys the most caches at the end wins the match. Also sounded pretty interesting on paper, but then in action it was probably the worst mode I've ever played in a Battlefield game. At the beginning it was pretty unclear how you can actually destroy the caches, but that's okay that you need to figure this out. But in general, the mode was just weird and chaotic, but not in a good way. And especially on the one map we played, which was Blackwell Fields, the play space was just terribly designed. In all the matches I played, the attacking team couldn't even get out of their spawn at some point because the defenders could shoot right into the attacker's HQ. Maybe it's the map that made this mode look more terrible than it actually is, but from the experience in the preview session, I gotta say this was not great. But let's see how it feels when we play it on different maps. Maybe it was just the map, I'm not quite sure. What we will also see in Phase 2 is a completely new gameplay feature, or at least new for Battlefield 6, and that's battle pickups. If you have played Battlefield 4, you should be familiar with this feature. If not, battle pickups are rare and powerful weapons that spawn on different locations on the map at some point during a match and can then be picked up by any player. They only have a limited amount of ammunition, so you cannot run around with them infinitely, and they can also not be unlocked as normal weapons. So it's really something special and usually differs for each map and mode. Unfortunately, it was not part of this preview session, but hopefully we will learn more about them before the second phase drops. Also not playable this time around were the new weapons and attachments of this phase, which is the DB12 shotgun, a dual barrel pump action shotgun that you can feed with 2 different types of ammunition at the same time. So you can carry shell and slug ammunition with you in one weapon and then use the one you need for the situation. And then there is the second weapon that will be a new sidearm again, which is the M357 trait. In real life, life, this would be the S&W M327. And this is an 8-round revolver with high damage and a low rate of fire and a higher damage drop-off compared to the M44 we already have. And lastly, in the second phase, we will also see a new attachment that is called the Troy Angled, and this is another variant of an angled grip and might be an interesting alternative for the already existing on the barrel attachments. And then on December 9th, the third and last phase of Season 1 will start, and here we don't have much info yet, and we also didn't get any hands-on time with the new map or mode during the preview session. But the map we can expect to see is a time-limited variation of Empire State, so one of the New York maps we got at release, and perfect for the season, the map will be all covered in ice and snow. In addition to this, we will also see a time-limited event mode called Ice Lock, which is centered around a mechanic called Freeze, but we don't know what this will do or how it will play, so maybe you're freezing if you're camping and you're not moving. And we will also see a new melee weapon, the Ice Climbing Axe. And this concludes the whole Season 1 phases, so Phase 1, 2 and 3 with different content, maps and modes. And then in the new year, Season 2 of Battlefield 6 will arrive also with new maps, modes, weapons and more, but we will learn more about this once the time has come. Now, what we will also see in Season 1, and what I didn't talk about so far, is the Battle Pass, and unfortunately we also couldn't take a look at this ourselves. So there will be a free and premium pass again, just like we know it from Battlefield 2042 and countless other games. And all seasonal gameplay content like the weapons, attachments and the new vehicles will of course be in the free pass. So all content added with the season will be free for everyone. The free pass will also give you access to a number of cosmetics, but if you want to get the full amount of cosmetics, you will need to purchase the premium pass. In addition, we will also see Battlefield Pro, which is basically like the Black Cell Pass in Call of Duty, or like the Ultimate Pass we already had in Battlefield 2042 during the last few seasons. So it's the most expensive version of the pass, will very likely only be purchasable with real money and not with in-game currency, and it gives you access to the Premium Pass, 25 tier skips and additional cosmetics only available with Battlefield Pro. If you own the Phantom Edition of the game, Battlefield Pro for Season 1 will already be part of this edition. The Battle Pass itself will also work a little bit different this time around compared to Battlefield 2042, so it's not a linear pass anymore where you unlock all tiers in a given order, but instead the pass will consist of 4 main paths. And within these paths you can decide for yourself which cosmetics you want to unlock, or with which ones you want to start and which ones you want to unlock later. If you complete all 4 main paths, however, an additional 5th path will become accessible where you can unlock even more cosmetics and rewards. And that was it for today. That was everything and every detail I have about Season 1 of Battlefield 6 so far. There will be more gameplay coming up over the next few days from both of the maps, also from the weapons and also from both of these smaller modes. So be sure to check this out as well if you want to get an even better impression of what to expect in Season 1. And if you enjoyed this video right here, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.